hear the good news message. Why? Because God called the Jewish people. God chose the Jewish people a long time ago to be holy and righteous before God themselves. And yet over the centuries and thousands of years, they have pulled away from God's truth. And now, of course, they pulled away from the Messiah, Jesus. He is the Jewish Messiah for them. He is the Jewish Messiah for all people as well. But they need to hear that gospel. And God has a heart for Jewish people to be saved, to at least hear that gospel. They hear the good news so that they can be. So my wife and I have been doing that in Las Vegas because there's 80,000 Jewish people living in Las Vegas. There's probably a lot more now. That was the numbers we had a few years ago. But we are sharing that good news. We have led 84 Jewish people to the Lord in 23 years and over 1,500 total people to the Lord in 23 years. So God gets the glory and the praise. We're just excited at what He's doing and giving us the opportunities to share with people and with Jewish people as well. And I was talking to some of you at lunchtime and saying, Israeli Jewish people are a little bit more easier to give the gospel to than American Jewish people. We were talking a little bit about those American Jews, and they just they don't seem to be as receptive as Israeli Jewish people. And we have a lot of those coming to Vegas, and so we get to go to the malls and we share the gospel with them there. And we also have a ministry at the campus of UNLV. That's a big-time university there in Las Vegas. Over 20,000 students go. But there are 10 to 15% Jewish students attending there. And sometimes the rabbis will come down to the campus as well, and they get to see me in my t-shirt of I Love Israel. We'll get to talking, and then they're like, "Hey, you're one of those. Get away from me." Jesus. Yeah. How dare you believe in Jesus, And I was like, well, I believe in Yeshua. So I kind of try to switch it up a little bit on them. It's the same, Yeshua is the Hebrew name for Jesus. But what I'm telling that rabbi is Jesus is the Jewish Messiah. He's the one for us, and for him especially, that rabbi. And so they don't particularly care for that either, unfortunately. But that's okay. Get a little bit in, and let God do the rest, And so we have a Messianic Jewish congregation in town. We have small attendance there as well, but we've been sending people the last 20 years all around the world. We send people to Israel, we send people to South Africa, and many do go around this nation as well. So we're very excited at what God is doing in our lives. And we have a tour to Israel scheduled. My wife and I are going to co-lead a tour to Israel in November. So you are all invited to come if you'd like. There's information on the back table for that. We also have tracts on the back table that you can share with Jewish people. They're written for Jewish people, but you can share them with anyone. You can share them with the Gentiles as well. Now, one of the books I've written, praise the Lord, is called Israel and Prophecy. It's an end times book focused on Israel. What's going to happen to Israel? Put it into chronology. And so you can get that as well on the internet. Just wanted to let you see that. That's one of the things that my wife and I are doing, sharing and teaching about prophecy around. Now, Moni is coming around getting you some sheets of papers because today's teaching, we're going to have a lot of scriptures we're studying and going through as we're studying the Feast of Shavuot and Pentecost. Got two names for this feast. But before we do that, I wanted to pass out our brochures for our ministry. CJF Ministries is known as the Christian Jew Foundation Ministries. And we were started in 1948 in San Antonio, Texas. You can imagine Jewish ranchers, Jewish cowboys. Wow. Yes, there were some. There's a whole family there. And a young man by the name of Charles Hoff got saved, believed in Jesus. And guess what his dad did? There's our Jewish people here today. Kicked him out of the house. But first, he took him to He actually sued his son, tried to get him to be put away into an insane asylum. Yeah, and they had a whole trial back in those days. And they went through the whole trial, and at the end of the trial, the judge basically came out and said that Charles Hoff, you're free to go, you're okay, but your dad, on the other hand, maybe he's the one that needs to go to the asylum.
Cool.
It turned out that the judge was a Christian.
Oh.
And of course, he was on Charles Hoff's side at that point. So then he got kicked out of the house, and the church took him in and then started this ministry, CJF Ministry, and it's a worldwide missionary organization, but we also have radio programs, and there's a lot of information also on our personal website with our congregation. It's called Beth Yeshua Las Vegas. So BethYeshuaLV.org. It's on the back of the brochure there. You can look at that and go to the site. There's a lot of videos, a lot of teachings on those sites. We just finished up Christ in Prophecy. Have you ever heard of Christ in Prophecy TV show with David Reagan and Tim Moore? Well, we just finished up on that. They're on Daystar, and it's a worldwide ministry organization as well. We just finished up 8 TV shows with them about the Feast of Israel. Really nice TV shows. You can go check it out on their sites as well. It's on YouTube. You can go to our website, and it'll be there as well. We're just starting to put them all on there, download them and all that. So that's our ministry in a nutshell. Am I forgetting anything? I have to ask my wife if I forgot anything, because I forget. See? She remembers. We're good?
You want to talk about the mom history or the...
I mentioned the mom ministry. You have a question?
I do, yeah. You got your trip coming up to Israel. I assume you were there before in Israel, right?
Yes. My wife and I have been to Israel 25 years ago, and then we went in 2019. Just recently. We co-led that tour in Israel, and it's a real blessing to be able to go.
But anyway, my question is, Netanyahu, we hear quite a bit about him. I think he's a pretty great guy, but I hear all kinds of things both ways. How about yourself? How do you view him in the scheme of things, especially...
Okay, what we're going to do here, sir, is because we're taping, I want to get through the teaching and all the